Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela, and we are the Castros.
We bring you the news.
And the views that make you think.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we don't.
This is News and Views.
And here are today's headlines.
The latest SWS senatorial survey is now out, and 8 candidates from the admin slate enter the top 12.
Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla confirmed the abduction of a student studying in an international school in Taguig. And the suspects involved are part of a syndicate related to Pogo.
Speaking of Pogos, PAOK continues its operation against illegal Pogo operations. Let's talk about that later with PAOK spokesperson Winston Castro.
And it was an action-packed volleyball game in the UAAP yesterday. Sino-sinong koponan naman kaya ang nanalo?
Bilang Pilipino, bilang Pilipino.
One political analyst says the Marcos administration may need to reassess its strategy to secure more Senate seats. Here's the report.
ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo leads the recent SWS senatorial survey with 45% voter preference. Ranked second and third are re-electionists Senators Bongo and Lito Lapid with 36%, followed by former Senate President Tito Soto and broadcaster Ben Tulfo. Senator Bong Revilla is a big gainer, coming in at 6th to 7th from 11th place just last month, and is tied with re-electionist Senator Pia Cayetano. Rounding off the top 12 are re-electionist Senator Bato de la Rosa, former Senators Ping Lacson and Manny Pacquiao, Makati Mayor Abby Binay, and TV host Willie Revillame. The SWS survey was conducted between February 15 and 19 among 1,800 registered voters. 8 candidates from the administration coalition remain in the Magic 12. But Strat-based President Dindo Manhit said that Alianza may need to reassess its strategy to secure more seats.
When you look at the result of social weather station, you would see at least 8 of the administration candidate is in the Magic 12, but at least number 13 and 14 are what we call within the margin of error. So it can swing to be at 9 or 10 for the administration, but it also needs to be seen that the administration coalition also need to reflect because they came out strong, but how come Bongo is way up there?
Meanwhile, senatorial bet Kiko Pangilinan is optimistic to enter the Magic 12 despite dismal survey performance. He told 1PHS sa Totoo Lang that he's banking on undecided votes.
Well, maraming elections na nakaraan, no? Yung mga wala sa top 12 na nanalo at yung mga nasa top 12 na tatalo. So nangyayari yan. Meron ding datos, SWS din, na marami sa mga botante last 2 weeks nagdidesisyon kung sino ang pipiliin. So yes, ganun ang sitwasyon ngayon in terms of yung resulta ng survey, pero hindi pa tapos. No, we still have about 76 days.
For News 5, I'm Ria Fernandez. We are One News.
Yan sa Liberal Party, you have former Senator Bam Aquino and then of course si former Senator Kiko Pangilinan looking in sa Magic 12. Pero hindi naman cast in stone tong mga survey na ito. I mean, there have been a lot of movements even from within the top 6 in the past. Ay, minsan yung 6 nawawala, minsan yung 6 nagiging number 1.
Oo. So, titignan natin talaga kung ano mangyayari. Pero most probably kasi nga, dahil sa, depende rin sa area kasi kung saan yung survey, tapos depende rin sa ano yung mga naging tanong, kaya yung mga lumalabas sa result ng survey. Pero also, yung nga dun sa news natin kanina, it says there, di ba, yung Marcos administration may need to reassess its strategy para daw mas makakuha sila ng mga seats dito sa Senate. Pero I think also yung mga ibang mga kandidato na tingin natin o tingin ng ibang tao na deserving may also need to reassess paano ba. Ang problema rin kasi talaga yung campaign funds Yan ang mahirap talaga ngayon dahil ang labanan, di ba, nakakausap natin ilang mga political strategists here, mga experts are saying talagang pera-pera ang labanan pagdating sa
kampanya. I think we need to re-educate the government also, or COMELEC has to have after the elections to a re-education sa mga voters because pinagkakamali ang mga voters. Minsan nakala na trabaho ng senador mamigay ng pera. o mamigay ng ayuda o maghandang dole out or 'di ba yung mga aksyon muna, mga ganon. Hindi ganon ang trabaho po ng senador. Ang trabaho nila is
Gumawa
gumawa
ng
ng batas at magdebate. Yun lamang po. Ngayon yung mga galaw na mga action movements, pamimigay ng ayuda or yung direct contact with the people sa mayor yan, vice mayor, yan.
Plus the ayuda na ibinibigay, ay yun din po ay galing sa mga pera natin, di ba? Mula dun sa mga tax na binibigay natin sa ating mga earnings.
Yan.
Hindi po yan galing mismo sa mga kumakandidato.
Ngayon, if
Or
you have
mga
si
politiko.
biggest gainer daw si Senator Bong Revilla, one of the biggest gainers. Consistently na sa top 12 na rin si Willie Revillame. Rounding out the bottom 12, but it's still a very delicate spot kasi may mga si Bam Aquino kasi is ang trend niya mula November pataas 'di ba? So let's see how it carries over into the last few months of the leading up to the actual election.
Yep.
Oo. All right, the Commission on Elections has raised concerns over the rise in election-related violence. Comelec Chairman George Erwin Garcia noted that many of these incidents occurred in Cotabato City and Maguindanao provinces. Among the latest cases was the attack on Vice Mayor Omar Samama of Datu Piang, Maguindanao del Sur. Currently, 38 areas are classified as election hotspots. Authorities are now intensifying efforts to crack down on loose firearms and dismantle private armed groups to prevent further violence.
Any violence directed against a candidate, an incumbent official, is always election-related. Huwag na po nating sugarcoat pa yan. Pagka malapit ang eleksyon, lalo't malapit ang campaign, maliwanag na kasi ngayon kung sino kandidato At nagiging maliwanag kung sino lumalamang. At kalimitan, pagka may mga ganyan, nagkakaroon ng violence.
Let's talk more about this with Comelec spokesperson, Attorney Rex Laudianco. Spokes, thank you for joining us.
Magandang umaga po, Sir Diego, Ma'am Angela, at sa lahat po ng ating taga-subaybay sa branch. Good morning.
Alright, Spokes, let's get right to it. Go ahead.
Oo, may datos na po ba tayo, Spokes, kung ilan na po yung mga insidente ng yung total na po na number as we speak, yung election-related violence na naitala po at gaano po ito kataas kumpara po noong nakaraan na eleksyon?
Opo, meron na pong initial na bilang at ito po ay pang-pito nga po itong nangyari kay Vice Mayor Omar Samama at kung ikukumpara po natin nung nakaraang halalan, mababa po talaga ito. Kaya nga po ginagawa natin ang lahat ng pwedeng gawin para po wag nang tumaas at hanggat maaari po mapababa natin ang mga election-related incidents.
Yes, Spokes, sabi nyo nga, medyo comparatively sa previous election, medyo mababa ang bilang ngayon ng mga violence related sa election. Pero are we still looking at the same old hotspots po this year, this coming election?
Tama po, yung nilabas po namin ng mga areas of concern noong February 2, primarily ang basis po niyan ay historical data, yung mga dati ng naging areas of concern. Kaya nga po 38 po yan na nasa red category, kung saan 32 po ang nasa farm at yung 6 po ay nakakalat sa Luzon at Visayas. Kasama po dito yung Datu Piang Maguindanao na naka-red category na since February 2 pa.
Ayun, so yung ano ba yung consistently Spokes, yung mga number 1 dyan sa ating listahan na sa mga hotspots?
Opo, lagi po talaga yung 32 sa farm, kasama po yung sa lahat ng lalawigan mula Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao del Norte, Maguindanao del Sur. At ang maganda po dito, wala po kaming nakita. Dati sa Tawi-Tawi ay meron, ngunit payapa po ang Tawi-Tawi. Yan po ang nakakatuwa. Kaya sana po, pasudurin po, wala kaming nakikita na problema sa Tulu. Kaya sana po magtuloy-tuloy ang ganitong mga efforts natin.
Oo, Spokes, ito nga daw po nagiging problema dun sa mga naitatalang election-related violence sa ilang mga hotspots na lugar ay may mga nadadamay daw po ng mga bata, ng mga wala naman po talaga kasalanan. Ano po ba yung limitation din ng Comelec pagdating po dito sa issue na to?
So po, ang mandate po ng Comelec talaga, kaya kami nag-deputize para masiguro masagawa ang halalan ng maayos at tahimik. At kasama po sa pinangangalagaan ng interes ng Comelec ang lahat ng Pilipino, kahit pa hindi kayo botante, dahil interes po ng halalan, interes ng bawat Pilipino yan. Kaya po makakaasa kayo, lalo na dito sa Datu Piang Maguindanao, ay itataas pa namin ang antas ng aming security preparations dyan.
Ayun.
And have you guys met with PNP na rin po para po ma-secure po yung natin, madagdagan po yung seguridad dun sa mga election-related hotspots po natin na areas?
Regular po ang pagpupulong ng COMELEC at ng PNP. Weekly po itong nagaganap. At kung meron nga po mga insidente, may pocket meetings pa po kami, bigla ang meetings. Kaya po tuloy-tuloy ang validation, tuloy-tuloy ang calibration ng ating responses.
Ayun, Spokes, taking this opportunity na rin, no, ano po ang update natin sa umiiral na gun ban? No? Ilan na po ang mga violators na nahuli?
Opo, 1,250 plus na po ang mga nakuhuli sa gun ban-related incidents at pati na rin po yung mga armas na nakuha halos umabot na po sa 2,000. Yan po ay datos kagabi, kaya nga po inaasahan po natin. Sana po ating mga kababayan, pakinggan nyo na po kami. Huwag nyo pong ilabas ang inyong baril sa inyong tahanan. Kahit pa kayo may LTOF, may lisensya, mayroong PTC-4, kung wala kayong exemption, kayo po'y lumalabag sa gun ban.
Spokes, gusto ko lang i-clear, no? Yung mga nahuli po sa gun ban, ano po ang pwedeng kaso na maharap nila? At if ever po, tapos na po yung election, will they get their guns back?
Naku, hindi po. Ebidensya po yan. Dahil po paglabag sa gun ban ay isang kasong kriminal. Election offense po ito. May pagkakakulong ng 1 hanggang 6 na taon. Pagkakatanggal ng karapatang bumoto at perpetual disqualification to hold public office. Ganyang kabigat po yan. Kaya po talagang please po, nakikiusap kami, makinig po at sumunod sa ating mga alituntunin.
Opo. Sa tingin niyo po ba may possibility na bumaba itong mga election-related violence na to sa mga iba't ibang lugar na to kapag po nagsimula na ang campaign na period sa lokal na election natin?
Una po sa lahat, aaminin po namin, nakikita po namin na baka tumaas. Kaya nga po as early as now, ay talaga naghahanda po kami, ina-anticipate na po namin na sa mga ilang lugar, lalo na yung red category areas, ay mahigpit po yung kanilang tunggalian, intense political rivalry. Kaya nga po magdadagdag tayo ng puwersa, babantayan natin, magsasagawa tayo ng peace covenant signing, pagpupulong, paghaharapin natin sa kanila, ipapaunawa natin na kaya nga kayo tumatakbo para maglingkod sa bayan. Bakit kayo magre-resort sa violence? Lalong-lalo na't may madadamay na kababayan ninyo.
Alright, siguro po, pabigyan na rin po kami ng update dun po sa printing ng ballots ng COMELEC.
Kaninang madaling araw po ay mahigit 48 million ballots at bago matapos ang araw po na ito ay 49 million ballots na po tayo. At kung walang problema, inaasahan namin matatapos ang pag-imprenta ng balota. By March, tapos po ang 71 million ballots and by second week of April, tapos po ang lahat ng verification at ready na kami to deploy sa iba't ibang lugar.
Alright, sige, maraming salamat po sa inyong update. That was COMELEC spokesperson, Attorney Rex Laudianco. Thank you so much for joining us today po.
Right, meanwhile, Senatorial Bet Erwin Tulfo says he's ready to face his disqualification cases. Erwin noted, though, that he has not received a copy of the latest case filed by a certain Berteni Causing. Causing filed a petition to disqualify Tulfo, citing his libel conviction in 2008. He likewise alleged that the senatorial candidate is not a Filipino citizen as he failed to renounce his U.S. citizenship. A disqualification case was previously filed against Erwin and other Tulfos who are said to be members of a political dynasty.
Ayan, so talagang ginagawa nilang lahat kasi ang daming cases ngayon.
Top spot kasi
Wala
si Kong Erwin so talagang a lot of people will try to get him down.
Apparently sinasabi nga niya ng kampo nila, itong nag-file ng case against him recently ay na-disbar daw Ito, so parang syempre discredit mo yung nag-ano sa'yo, 'di ba? So tingnan natin kung anong mangyayari dito sa mga yung issue ng kanyang citizenship. Ano pa yun kasi nung 2022 if I'm not mistaken, 2021 na nakuha niya ulit yung Philippine citizenship siya. So I don't know paano mangyayari.
Baka actually the act of renouncing technicality kasi siguro ata yun ang sinasite ng iba. Pero the mere fact na reinstate yung citizenship ng Filipino means Filipino si Congressman Erwin. Pero let's see kung anong interpretation ng court na magiging interpretation ng court.
Alright, in other news, Senate President Jesus Cordero has ordered offices in the upper chamber to prepare for the impending impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Through Special Order 2025-015, Escudero assigned a specific task to the Senate Secretary and other key offices ahead of the proceedings. The order designates Senate Secretary Renato Bantug as clerk of the court for the impeachment trial, responsible for recording proceedings, processing pleadings, and managing other non-judicial functions. Additionally, the Senate Legal Counsel and Deputy Secretary for Legislation will serve as deputy clerks of court. Meanwhile, Senate Sergeant-at-Arms retired General Roberto Ancan is tasked with serving subpoenas and enforcing security measures throughout the trial.
Yan na, nag-prep na. Sabi nga ni SP Cheese, they expect a conviction around September to October.
Oo, kasi
3
parang
months.
ang ano nila dyan na ang timeline nila is kung magbibigin ang impeachment, mag-start ang impeachment trial after ng SONA.
Yes.
Oo, pero kasi ngayon nga 'di ba, ang marami pa rin yung mga debate tungkol dito na dapat na mas agahan. Even si Senator Lisa Ontiveros nagsalita na siya more recently na sinasabi niya na it is their constitutional duty na agaran na nga daw dinggin itong impeachment complaint sa Senado.
At saka for clarity of mind na rin ng political ang institution natin sa gobyerno. So because a lot of course yung mga investors, foreign investors are looking at this issue and would like a resolution as soon as possible. Parang will there be stability in terms of the president and the vice president? Matatanggal ba siya? Hindi ba siya matatanggal? So they want all of this out of the way so they can confidently invest in the Philippines already.
All right, we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. Now, authorities say a syndicate previously involved in Philippine offshore gaming operations was behind the abduction of a 14-year-old student in Taguig City. Here's the report.
A 14-year-old student from exclusive school in Taguig City has been rescued after being abducted. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla said the student was kidnapped at 3:45 p.m. on February 20. The student was supposed to go home at 2:40 p.m. but never arrived. The parents reported the kidnapping the next day. Authorities later found the vehicle that picked up the student in San Rafael, Bulacan, but the driver had been killed. Inside the vehicle, investigators discovered evidence including pictures and duct tape that could yield fingerprints. The kidnappers demanded $20 million ransom, but the parents refused to pay. On Saturday, February 22, kidnappers released a video showing one of the boy's fingers being caught. It was at this point that the parents asked for proof of life.
Pinakita yung bata na kumakanta ng paboritong awitin ng kanyang nakababatang kapatid. Kumanta yung bata, nakangiti naman, at nakita na, at mula sa video niya ay mukhang in good health.
By Monday, the anti-kidnapping group tracked the suspect's location through their cell phone signal, leading to a hot pursuit operation. At around 8 p.m., authorities found the student in Parañaque.
The choice was pursuing the vehicle or securing the child. Obviously, ang AKG, inuna yung bata. Kinuha yung bata, dinala sa ama, at nireconcile namin lahat.
Investigators believe that the kidnapping is linked to POGO operations.
Initially po, ang isa sa miyembro ng pamilya po ay dati pong involved sa business ng POGO, na kung saan ang pinag-uusapan po nila yata yung pagbabayad ng mga hindi na mababayarang utang. Wala pong ni-report si Director AKG tungkol sa previous involvement. Ang sinabi lang po, tinitingnan din po yung anggulo natin ng Chinese versus Chinese.
While authorities have identified the kidnappers, no arrest had been made yet. Since January 8, kidnapping cases had been recorded, with 5 already solved.
Yun. So ito yung student na I think it's the same in another press conference sinabi ni Secretary Remulla that this Chinese was also involved in a shooting incident.
Parents?
Yung
Parents or yung kid?
No, not the kid. The guy who supposedly ang nag-kidnap sa bata, he's involved in another case that
Yeah.
we're looking at. So may CCTV video kasi pinakita na namamaril yung ano.
Yes, and yung mga allegedly yung mga bodyguards daw ng mga nang kidnap ay mga former officials or mga
AFP,
nag-awol
PNP.
na ng AFP and AFP and PNP.
Officials pa ang term, ha? So medyo mataas, may rango. May rango
Initially
sila.
kasi tinitignan nilang suspect yung driver kasi nawala. Pero eventually, nakita nila yung driver nga na patay sa isang vehicle in Bulacan.
Transfer.
Yes.
Transfer from the original car to another car.
Oo. There were videos and photos circulating online prior to this news. At tapos may ibang mga nagsasalita na don't believe the ones that you see online, don't believe fake news. Eventually, totoo naman pala talaga yung ito na pabalita nga na abduct, no.
Yung bata.
Ang importante
Yeah, oo.
safe yung bata, 'di ba? Yun ang tinitingnan natin. And of course, yung mga dapat mahuli.
Yeah.
Diba? Ito nga nagkidnap.
Wala na nga ang POGO i-ban na nga ang POGO until now we're still reaping the effects of yung criminality na naidulot nito.
Exactly.
Yun ako. Anyway,
Speaking of POGO.
Speaking of POGO, authorities raided a mega scam hub inside a mid-rise condominium in Pasay City. Involved in offshore gaming operations was behind and other equipment for scamming. The scam hub was shut down but appeared to be continuously going back to operations. At least 300 POGO workers were apprehended, including foreigners from China and Vietnam. The scam hub was located near the offices of the Bureau of Investigation and Immigration.
Sa lahat ng mga nag-ooperate pa ng POGO, hindi namin kayo papayagan talaga at kami ay iikot na nakikipag-coordinate kami sa national government, lalong-lalo na ang PAO, sa PNP at iba't iba pang mga ahensya ng ating gobyerno. At sila ay mananagot sa batas na kanilang violate at sila ay isasara.
Now, are we witnessing a re-emergence of pogos, and what does the government plan to do with it?
To answer that, we have with us PAOK spokesperson Winston Casio on the line. Spokes, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Hello, magandang umaga po. Good morning, Diego and Angela.
Alright, Spokes, may developments po ba tayo dito yung sa Pasay raid na ito at bakit po nakapag-operate pa rin ito?
Well, obviously, they've operated because illegal talaga sila. They belong to a criminal organization who does not intend, who has no intention of leaving the country, who has no intention of following the ban imposed by the President. Kaya nagpapasalamat kami sa mabilis na pagtugon ng LGU ng Pasay to be able to provide a mission order that served as the basis to close down this particular POGO operation last night.
Yung itong pogo na ito, do you see any link to the other breakaway factions na nakikita na binanggit nyo before na within the metro?
Yeah, apparently they've been closed before. So sila yung Unlad Silangan that used to be a master licensee. Unlad Silangan, meron talagang lisensya yan, kinancel ang POGO way back 2024.
Okay.
Late 2023, sorry. Late 2023, they were canceled late 2023. But apparently they simply transferred from their previous location doon sa One Wheels condominium kung saan na nga sila nahuli last night.
Okay.
Oo. Spokes, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not the first time na may na-raid po kayo na POGO operation sa bandang Pasay. Kasi if I can remember if correctly, meron din most recently na na-raid naman na parang hotel yon sa basement na nagkakaroon din ng mga guerrilla operations ng POGO doon. Bakit po kaya sa Pasay ngayon ang target nilang lugar?
Primarily, not only in Pasay, they've been congregating in the southern part of Metro Manila because this is where the biggest casinos are located, as well as the gateway. The gateway is located, yung NAIA natin.
Yes.
So these foreign nationals are addicted to gambling, personally. So a good number of them frequent the casinos here in the entertainment center of southern Metro Manila. So that's why it's their primary location. Most preferred location is in Pasay, Parañaque, and in even parts of Makati. No? It has nothing to do with the LGUs. It's their preferred location because of their proximity to the casino.
Oo. Yun nga po I just wanna ask you po then, Spokes, saan po ba kumukuha ng lakas ng loob? Itong mga POGO operators na to na even after yung declaration nga ng ban dito sa ating bansa, ang dami pa rin po natin nahuhuli. I was wondering kung meron din po ba kayo nakikitang mga backer, mga kasabwat dito sa atin?
Just like any other type of organized criminal syndicates, no amount of organized criminal organization would be able to exist without some form of public corruption. It always is there is a correlation between public corruption and organized criminality. So obviously meron yan. But the president has a zero tolerance for government officials who do not merely condone but provide protection to this type of criminal activities. Kaya part din po yan sa mga investigasyon na ginagawa ng Interagency Task Force na kinabibilangan ng DILG at saka DOJ. It's for that reason that we're very thankful, Angela and Diego, to the Secretary of the Interior for his very bold pronouncement directing all GU officials, the local chief executives, to be always on the lookout for the red flags in relation to POGOs.
Yan, Spokes Winston, are you confident na you will have this in check very soon? Are you monitoring po several groups right now?
Yeah, truth be told, since February 13, when PAOK started all these raids against these errant POGOs, we've been getting almost daily reports. But of course, before we act on them, we have to validate the reports to make sure that these are not, not legitimate businesses run by some foreign nationals, no? Kasi there are also legitimate businesses that are run by foreign nationals. Some Filipinos have become, forgive me for saying, some Filipinos have become too xenophobic about it, no? Na pag nakita lang sila ng Chinese, automatic sinasabi na nilang Pogo. But not all businesses
Oo
run by
naman.
Chinese are Pogos.
Okay.
Recently po, sinabi ni Senator Tulfo, he actually called out yung mga kabagalan daw po dahil since December pa, yung call nga daw po na iba ng Pogo, pero kukonti or hindi pa lahat, hindi pa 100% na nade-deport yung mga illegal foreign workers. And nakikita nga po natin, nakakasama pa yung iba sa ilang mga operations dito. Are you currently in talks pa rin po? I'm sure po, no, na kayo po ay in talks with BI, no, Bureau of Immigration, tungkol nga po dito sa mga deportation. Do we have an update on this?
Yeah, we're always on a regular communication with both the Bureau of Immigration and the National Bureau of Investigation, as well as the Department of Justice, to streamline the process in relation to deportation. And thankfully, both agencies, BI and NBI, were able to come up with a process that would allow the release of clearances within a few days or a week. So that would mean that after every operation, once we get all those clearances with us, we'll be able to deport siguro hundreds of nationals in less than a month.
Paano po yung mga illegal foreign workers din po na, I think, if I remember it correctly, nasabi nyo nga po nakakasuhan din po muna bago sila ipa-deport?
Yes. A good number then of them would also have to be criminally charged naman po because they are bastardizing our legal frameworks in the Philippines. So we'd have to show to the international community that the Philippines does not condone this type of activities, and if any of their nationals are found to be guilty of these criminal allegations, then they'd have to spend time in our Philippine jail. But that's less than 5% of the sum total of all deportable foreigners.
So, folks, we all know na it's very critical also in involvement po ng mga the general public, no, in curbing out these illegal activities. If they want to report po, do you guarantee them na yung anonymity, that it will remain anonymous? And how do they determine po daw? Kasi minsan ang dami nagtatanong, paano nila ma-determine minsan ang difference between a call center na may mga Chinese daw or from a illegal Pogo operation already na nagsiscam? Kasi minsan baka magkamali daw sila mag-report, ayaw nila naman ng ganun.
Yeah. Technically, BPOs, business process outsourcing, ang ratio of employees in relation to foreign and local employees should not be more than 5% foreign nationals.
Okay.
So if it is a BPO, by mandate of the by law, it should only be they should only be employing 5% foreign nationals of the total workforce. So if you see that a particular BPO or a call center has more than that 5%, meaning to say you see more foreigners coming in and out of a building rather than more than the Filipinos, then obviously that's a red flag.
Spokes, may
So
mga...
that is already indicative of a Pogo that should be reported to us.
Interesting you mentioned that also, Spokes, no? Kasi may mga instances ba na kunyari isang Pinoy sumali sa isang kala niya call center, yung pala later on malaman niya ay isang scam hub pala ng Pogo operations. May mga na-encounter kayong ganyan, Spokes, sa mga na-read nyo?
Yes, yes. But then of course, it's a matter of defense for the Filipinos, no? If they willingly and knowingly entered into a scam hub for purposes of employment, then they've got a criminal liability as well.
Okay.
So ang importante dito is for them not to be what do you call this, enticed into joining this type of criminal activities, because at the end of the day, if we'd be able to find sufficient evidence against them, given the material time available to us, makakasuhan po sila.
Okay.
Just like dito sa ATI building, yung ni-raid natin na Pogo dito sa may Paranaque noong February 20, 2 Filipinas are criminally charged. So kagabi, nung nakita ko nga sila dito sa detention facility namin, sa custodial facility namin, alam mo, nakakadurog ng puso, makita ng kababayan mong
Yeah.
napakabata, less than 30 years old, mid-20s, facing a human trafficking charge. Di ba? That's heart-wrenching, so to speak,
right.
heartbreaking. Kaya lang, we are duty-bound by law to impose whatever is imposable upon them, di ba?
That's right.
Kaya nagmamakaawa tayo sa mga kababayan natin. Tigilan na natin ito. Alam naman natin na malaki ang sahod na binibigay ng mga ito kumpara doon sa ibang mga trabaho. At mabilis makapasok kasi walang masyadong requirements.
That's right.
You come in at the beginning of the workday, you're processed, you're good to go. Di ba? But then at the end of the day, you've entered a criminal activity, and if we find you there, we'll charge you if we have material evidence against you.
Okay. Spokes, I was wondering lang po, ito pong na-kidnap na bata no, doon sa isang international school na allegedly po involved daw po a Pogo Syndicate. Are we planning to talk to the parents na baka po makatulong po sa investigasyon ng mga inire-raid po ninyo ng mga Pogo?
With regards to that incident, we deferred that criminal investigation to the PNP anti-kidnapping group, in as much as this is more of a kidnapping problem rather than just a pure offshore gaming operation.
Right.
But then again, we've been sharing information with the other law enforcement agencies in relation to the possible connections of some individuals that may have perpetrated the crime or or information in relation to the victims, to the family, to the victim himself. No, yung mga ganitong krimen kasi, these have become commonplace over the years. Pogo-related crime involves anywhere from murder, torture, illegal gambling, kidnapping, human trafficking, name it. So lahat na dinala nila lahat dito. Kaya ito yung hinahabol ngayon ng ating gobyerno, the PNP, NBI, and the PAOK. Kasi if we allow them to take root in the Philippines, then they would become a very potent transnational organized criminal organization. So, ngayon pa lang dapat maputol na natin yung kanilang mga ugat. Otherwise, mahirapan tayo if we allow them to become so potent and become so rooted here in the Philippines.
Oo pa. Oo. Spokes, last na po, no, before we let you go, I know you're a very busy person. Baka lang po meron po kayong number na, no, data doon po sa ilan pang mga illegal foreign workers yung dapat po natin ma-deport.
Well, as far as PAOK, we have now reached, as of last night, as of early tonight, early this morning, let me check, 397-4401. So we have reached almost 800 deportable foreign nationals now.
Ito po yung na-deport na or i-deport pa lang?
No. These are deportable nationals that are in our custody.
Okay.
There are a good number also in the immigration facility in Bicutan. So that means to say, kung 10,650 ang natitira dito, 800, we're down to 9,000 plus of foreign nationals that we have to find all over the country.
Dami pa nun.
Manageable number.
Good luck
We're
on you.
confident that we can do it.
Right.
Good luck po sa
Good
inyo,
luck on your
Spokes.
quest. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, PAOK spokesperson Winston Casio.
Maraming
Alright, the Bureau of Immigration has deported 98 Chinese Pogo workers, most of whom were recently apprehended at a scam hub in Parañaque. According to the BI, the Chinese embassy arranged the chartered flight to China. Of the 98 individuals, 91 were among the 450 people arrested on January 8 at a commercial building in Parañaque, while the other 7 had been held at the BI detention facility in Taguig. The agency has been fast-tracking deportations since the Pogo ban took effect at the beginning of the year. Nearly half of all foreign nationals taken into custody this year have been deported reported. But the BI acknowledges that processing them demands substantial government resources.
The Philippine National Police defends its convoy's use of the EDSA busway last Tuesday. A confrontation unfolded as operatives of the Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation, or SAIC, stopped a motorcycle of the PNP Highway Patrol Group and 2 SUVs from continuing on the busway in EDSA Ortigas. According to SAIC, the convoy immediately left after the conversation because they had an emergency to attend to. But one of the motorcycles went back to get the violation ticket. PNP Chief General Romel Marbil did not confirm nor deny if he was in that convoy. But he said there was a legitimate emergency situation that the officials needed to attend to.
We are on call 24 hours a day. And there's a guideline sa nilabas po ng DOTR na the PNP vehicles, ang sinasabi, in case of emergency, national issue, you can use that. There's an emergency that we have to call kasi meron po kaming operation last night.
Nako. As of now kasi, ang ating batas, ang pinapayagan lang na dumaan
Highest
sa
officials
EDSA
of the land.
busway, highest official of the land. which is
President,
the
Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House,
Chief
saka
Justice.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Oo. Pero ngayon, kung talagang very busy ang PNP at kailangan nilang pumunta somewhere, humingi na lang po kayo ng special permit. Kasi as of
Before you
now,
enter,
bawal po kayo. Diba?
Because I know naman na they have very important matters to attend to, and that's understandable. But they have to remember, so does every other 300,000 motorists on EDSA.
Lahat
na may
ng
mga
oras
critical,
natin ay importante.
Minsan nga may mga ambulance nga nakikita mo,
Exactly.
nakikipaglaban sa traffic na hindi pumapasok eh. May mga instances na ganon. So, syempre we're not privy to whatever information they have on the side. Alam ko may meeting supposedly sila with Secretary Remulla, di ba? At medyong nagmamadali daw, emergency. But then again, ang sabi naman ng iba, bakit? Na-late ka ba? Kaya ka nag-busway, baka mapagalitan ka. We don't know.
We
We're
don't
not privy.
know.
But then again, sinasabi natin, to
Pag ganyan,
coordinate
makipag-usap na lang sila.
ahead of time. Because
Oo.
yung mga taga-SAIC naman, they're doing their jobs lang eh.
Yes, oo.
At kudos sa inyo na kahit na may PNP escort, hinuli nyo pa rin.
Yeah, but to be fair naman, on the other side of the fence, bumalik sila itong
To get the
driver
ticket.
to get the ticket
To get the
para
ticket.
matikita na sila kasi they really need to pass by nga daw dun sa busway. But yun, alright.
Right, don't go away because we're not done yet. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News and Views on One News.
Cardinal Luis Tagle of the Philippines led a prayer service for Pope Francis in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican on Wednesday. The prayer service is aimed at showing solidarity and support for the ailing pontiff. The service will be held daily this week. Pope Francis remains in critical condition due to double pneumonia. The pontiff, though, has shown a further slight improvement as the previously reported kidney problem has been resolved. Pope Francis is spending his 13th night at Rome's Gemelli Hospital, the longest hospital stay of his nearly 12-year-old papacy. Of course, we continue
prayers
to
pa rin.
pray for Pope Francis.
The entire Catholic faithful and the world also. No,
Actually, the whole world.
Is on standby sa nangyayari sa kanya because not only does he impact yung Catholics, but time and time again, yung mga Pope ng Catholic Church have been reaching out to other faiths.
Yeah.
When he was here, when Pope Francis was here, yung sa UST,
Yeah.
yung nag-converge sila. Lahat ng andaming faith nandun, yung interfaith
Yeah.
mass doon. Di ba? You had from representing a Muslim community, then you have the Jewish rabbis na nandun, you had the born-again Christians. They were all together with the Pope.
Yeah.
Beautiful sight.
To welcome him. And of course, yun nga, ang tawag nga kasi talaga sa kanya, Pope of the People eh.
Yes.
Dahil nga, dun sa mga, ideas niya, yung mga progressive, din niya ideas, di ba? He also opened the Vatican Church to others, sa mga non-believers.
But yet maintaining conservative stance si John Paul. At saka yung pronouncement niya na iisa lang naman ang Diyos natin. It's just, nagkakaiba tayo ng doktrina. So that's why he's trying to consolidate.
Na-touch nga ako dun sa nakita ko, before you move on, dun sa nakita ko sa social media. Kasi before, there was a photo during the pandemic that he held a mass by himself. Andun siya sa tapat ng, alam mo, empty crowd. Kasi
crowd.
pandemic
Pero
yun,
tinuloy pa
bawal.
rin niya.
Nag-mass siya and he prayed for everybody. Tapos sabi nung nag-post, now he needs our prayer.
And every day, nagmamass yun with or without a crowd daw. All right, in sports, the UAAP UST Golden Tigresses reasserted their mastery in volleyball over the DLSU Lady Spikers. Ange Poyos powered UST in the deciding fifth set as the Golden Tigresses extended their win streak over the Lady Spikers to 4 games since season 85. She finished with 28 points to go along with 16 excellent digs and 6 excellent receptions. The Golden Tigresses are now winners of 2 straight games, while LaSalle fell to 1-2 for the first time since UAAP season 68 in 2006.
Mahigpit na laban.
Go LaSalle!
In other news, a coffee shop in Quezon City stands out with its unfinished construction site theme. Mobile Journal Mary Reyes has the story.
Madalas ay pagandahan o pabonggahan ang peg ng mga kafe. Pero may nakita tayong kapehan sa QC na tila kabaliktaran ng aesthetic ang itsura. Lamesang gawa sa scrap woods, exposed na mga tubo, pasong mula sa lalagyanan ng pintura, upuan na toolboxes, at nakakalat na hardware supplies. Ito ang makikita mo sa kapehang Resonate.Coffee sa Katipunan Avenue QC. Mukha man siyang still under construction, pero ito talaga ang konsepto ng cafe. Ayon sa isa sa mga may-ari, nagmula ang ideya sa bansang Thailand kung saan ilan sa architectures nito ay may disenyong industrial at unfinished. Nagkataon din nag-game ang mga contractor nila sa konsepto, kaya para na rin itong collab nilang coffee connoisseurs at construction movers.
Nung nakita na namin tong spot na to, nung pinademolish namin siya, nakita namin siyang bare, mas lalong naisip namin bagay talaga yung concept. Yung mga tables or yung ibang display, gamit siya nung mga nag-construct talaga.
Kabaliktaran ng madalas na inaasahan ang brand na gusto nilang i-showcase. Binuksan nila ang cafe noong November 2, All Souls Day last year, at maging sa menu nila, gusto nilang ipakilala ang mga di-gaanong sikat sa panlasa ng tao.
Ang binili natin is iced chai tea latte. So ultimo yung mga pader, yung mga lamesa, yung mga counters, even itong sahig, wala pa yung finishing, walang painting. Literal na semento lang yung nakikita mo sa paligid. Meron din dito yung classic na kalendaryo sa mga bahay ng Pilipino.
Unconventional man daw ito sa paningin, mabenta naman ang bagong cafe take na ito.
It's really refreshing to have something like this. I like the drink. Galing pa kasi kami sa Davao, so nagbakasyon lang kami dito and Nakita namin to sa Facebook, nagba-viral, kaya pinuntahan namin. Unique yung idea nila, not the usual cafe na napupuntahan namin.
Sa ngayon ay inaaral pa nila kung ano pang bagong pakulo ang pwedeng gawin. At para sa mga coffee enthusiasts dyan na gustong pasukin ng industriya, payo nila, huwag raw matakot mag-experiment para sa branding ng kapehan nyo.
Sobrang dami na ng nagtatayong coffee shop ngayon. So mag-isip tayo lagi or huwag kayong matakot na mag-explore. Try lang tayo ng try.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, ika nga nila. Sa kahit na anong bagay, basta may passion at creativity, mayroon daw kagandahan na maaaring matuklasan. Mobile journalist Marymon Reyes po, hatid ang muka ng balita.
Makausap si Mary nung gusto ko tanungin kunyari may papagawa sa bahay, pwede ba akong bumili muna ng construction supplies? So, imbis na kasi usually pag bibili ka sa mga hardware, upo ka. Kasi hintayin mo yung billing, hintayin mo yung pila, kung magkano. So, habang naghihintay kayo, magkakape or, di ba, or tema lang siya.
Pero ito kasi tema lang talaga siya. Kasi
sayang.
sabi
Inaano ko lang sayang
kasi sabi daw nga nung may-ari, parang puro
interesting,
aesthetic.
katipunan.
Sabi na, puro aesthetic daw yung mga mga coffee
Katipunan.
shop ngayon. So, let's do it differently.
May
which
gusto
is,
ko-
pumatok naman.
Looks interesting, pero may nagva-viral din, pero hindi ko na mahanap kung saan. May isang coffee shop na hindi mo papasukan sa loob. Yung sa labas ka lang mag-order, pero hindi mo makikita yung barista, hindi mo makikita yung loob. May butas lang. So, kunyari parang may papunch ka at ang order, tapos kukunin mo yung order mo sa loob. Butas lang siya. Ganon. Or minsan may lalabas na kamay iabot sa'yo. Ang color niya parang cement lang talaga. Talagang hole in the wall talaga.
Maramihan ng mga ideas ngayon Kasi
Oo.
madami na rin mga coffee shop. Pero yun lang daw, one thing is for sure, safe naman doon. Kasi kung ang theme nila is unfinished construction site, make sure daw man daw, safe naman doon.
Tema lang naman.
Tema lang naman
So
yun.
may ano yan.
Pero ang ganda, may mga pa nakahanger na t-shirt.
Madalaw nga dyan. Saka yung tinuro ni Marymon, very interesting. Yung calendar na yung luma. Alam mo yung lumang calendar? Tinuro niya yung white and blue. Tapos yung may mga pages na lilipat-lipat mo per month.
Tingnan mo, dinayo pa sila. Yung iba taga Davao.
Sana may nakasabit o nakalaminate na good morning towel.
Pwede
diba?
rin.
Doon. Oo, ayun. Alright, since nakalimutan ko magpadala sa amin, producer ng quote, ibabanggit ko na lang ang quote na iiwan ko for all of you today. And the quote goes, "Life is better when you cry a little, laugh a lot, and are thankful for everything you've got. Smile."
Yan.
And that wraps up today's episode of News and Views.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.